you're gonna lose. There's no other way about it. And because of that, there are also a fair amount of time shards, and when you're off the mat, you can hide effectively. So that's why I feel Clutch can be a very strong pick on this map, because you can hide around those borders and only really engage with this on your terms with the ability up. And if you do that well, you can be unstoppable.
All right, well, it's time to get into the action then. What a matchup here. Opening with the Clutch. It is the DaHanG special, isn't it? The shield fully working, fully operational, blocking all the damage, securing that. Well, I always want to say green, because it is green, but securing the light armor as well as that mega health. And DaHanG is in a great position. And we spoke of this in some of the previous casts, just sort of just try to start slow, get all the weapons, try to set yourself up so you can basically take fights later on. You don't want to just preemptively just throw away a frag straight away when you don't have all the equipment, when you haven't felt out sort of the pacing of your opponent.
Yeah, and it's the most critical time of the dueling Quake champions, because it's very precarious to try and make yourself known on the map and have a presence without the full arsenal of weapons. And even still, Clutch is lacking the rocket launcher, which is particularly important for the big man, because that's what is his most impactful weapon with the shield up. Once again, forced to use the shield in a position that is not ideal. So now we're going to see definitely DaHanG sit back, play it safe for another 30 seconds, trying to get some time shards.
And it's really interesting, the dynamic with Clutch, just due to his massive armor pool. And, obviously there's this window where Vo right now really needs to get some damage in, because DaHanG will be picking up armor. You don't want to let him get that max stack. He will become very dangerous then, and we'll start to perhaps see DaHanG trying to go onto the offense. And at the moment, we can see him listening for sound cues. Listening
for sound cues, as well as waiting out the remainder of his shield, which means now he's obviously going to be a lot more confident going forward. But speaking of that, the Sorlag is actually a relatively decent counter to the Clutch in that regard, because of the fact that Sorlag can and is one of the few champions to actually match up in terms of stack, as well as having that spit, which is particularly good because it's a consistent source of damage against the shield, and pretty much it's almost impossible to miss Clutch. You always have a virtually full output of damage from your ability, which is still very, very high.
I think we're going to sudden death.
Yeah, this is Vo through and through. DaHanG is in a difficult position. He's finding it very hard against Sorlag, so just waiting out for this mega. And once he has that, then we might see him go on the offense. Particularly now the shield is up. But Vo's doing a good job staying on the higher ground, not wanting to commit, because this is one of the corridors where Clutch reigns supreme. If you're caught in that corridor, as we said, shield's up, you're pretty much dead. So Vo doesn't want to venture down into the depth of the sewers, even though that's where he was born and raised.
Whoa.
I meant Sorlag, not
Oh, right,
Vo.
right, sure. Okay, yes, absolutely. Of course. Well, it's going to be very hard to get in here. Vo finally trying to commit, though, into the damage as DaHanG plays defensively, and the spit did connect, but he falls back in time onto the light armor as well as the mega, and that's going to put him in a great position here for that heavy as well. Vo still challenging, though, as he's looking to go for the jump across. He'll make it, though, and there's no rail to connect to actually get any of that armor off, so DaHanG, I thought he was going to be in a great position there, but Vo is in the prime position now.
You can see the two benefits we talked about before. The spit, doing immense amount of damage despite the shield, forcing DaHanG back, as well as Sorlag's stack, keeping her alive through all that pain.
And that's a brilliant connection there from Vo. Again, you need a lot of damage onto Clutch, but that's a great start. A direct rocket as well. That's near 200 damage just done. Obviously, there is health around that corner, but there it is. DaHanG caught as he goes to the next health bubbles, and that was a gamble DaHanG had to take. He had to gamble that Vo was going to try to pursue through the nail gun area, through the health towards the bridge, as opposed to straight onto the upper ground by the shotgun. So a gamble that did not pay off, and now Vo with the advantage.
I'm also not sure if that was a mistake or deliberate with the laser beam at the end there, as DaHanG still pushes in and gets the kill.
All right, well.
That is surprising.
Yeah, Vo not ready for that one. Slash is so good at getting in, just sliding in, getting those rockets straight in your knees and causing all kinds of issues. But the punches, the fisting, the boxing, the jaws have been cracked, skulls have been smashed. It's not a good look there for DaHanG. I think that's a bit gratuitous description there, but getting carried away.
You love it, DK.
I do. I like words, which is good, considering that is pretty important.
Your job is to know a lot of words.
Yeah, exactly. It's kind of my job to use words. It's good that I like them. They're my friends most of the time. Not all the time, but Vo has that heavy coming up now and looking for the potential jump from DaHanG. That's a really important flicker. Oh, he misses the absolutely crucial one here, and DaHanG keeps the pressure on there. Even though he has very low health, he is going to keep trying to get the damage in. And the double kill, the rocket. Wow, what a trade coming in. Phenomenal stuff.
Vu's not even touching his mouse.
I love...
That's a mic drop moment.
But I love just his expression. Or the fact that he's expressionless.
He's a machine.
The focus of Vo. Again, Vo, I have such immense respect for Vo because to me, he's just one of the best competitors that there is. You just put him in anything competitive and he will find a way to win. Speaking of which, it's going to be tough for Vo to find a way to get in on DaHanG at the moment as he is able to pick up that mega health. Good chip damage done by Vo though in the course of that.
But what Vo is doing exceptionally well so far is forcing that shield out when DaHanG doesn't want to use it. So he's forcing DaHanG to use it in defensive situations. He comes off a jump pad in a very dangerous position, using that lightning gun, forcing DaHanG away. And obviously you're not going to miss him, but still, just enough damage.
Combo kill.
Yeah,
I could do voiceovers for the game, I reckon.
I think you could.
Combo kill. No? Okay.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. This is not looking good, is it? The shotgun's coming out, the laser beam, and I like the way that he's using that just to cover in case there's any push, any cheeky pushes, but somehow DaHanG stays alive with the clutch. He's pretty weak, runs into Vu's Anarchy. Vo, so very well known for his Anarchy, the CPM star, the painkiller star. A man born with air control, perhaps, on the brain.
So still definitely on the back foot. Clutch has got full map control now. Huge stack advantage, and the shield is just about to be up, and surely Vo will know that and definitely has to take defensive positions. Generally now in this type of position as Vo, you're going to want to play the range game. You want to go to try and pick that clutch off because given the size of the man, you can quite easily hit him. And just a couple of rails will definitely keep him away, even if the shield is up.
So DaHanG now dropping down to low ground, up to the bridge. You can see what he can find here. Good rail from Vo, but of course, Clutch is basically the size of a barn. So
every good rail turns into a yes, all right.
Yeah, more or less. Yeah, it's like, well, kind of expect him to just tank the damage. It's kind of the dynamic there with Clutch. It's kind of frustrating sometimes to sort of track the damage because he's got such a big health pool. And on Bloodrun as well, these corridors, the shield, the ability to pick up there's two lights, there's a heavy, there's all kinds of armor to collect. And defensive game is strong, but here comes the offensive game from DaHanG as he gets the collection onto the mega, pushes Vo away.
Really nice play from Vo, recognizing and baiting out that shield and then realizing the duration would go down, giving him a good opportunity to do immense amount of damage on that mega health. But given the stack size, it was kind of irrelevant at the end of the day.
The question is really with Anarchy, how do you get... Like, you can't sustain in fights. You have no ability to really stay in them for very long, so how do you get that damage output? DaHanG is always going to be in control here, but the shield! Oh, it popped just as he died. Beautiful stuff from me, just as I was asking the question as to how he's going to be able to do that. Perhaps DaHanG misread the time that he had until the shield and was a bit ambitious, perhaps. Either way, Vo is in a brilliant spot at this point now. There's 2 minutes to go. Still on the Anarchy. He's got Doom to fall back on if he chooses to do so, but still that slash has obviously proven to be very, very strong for DaHanG as well, though.
And this is a good time for Vo to try and pick up the paces. DaHanG is trying to weasel his way around and pick up the items and the weapons he needs. Again, lacking that rocket launcher, something that Vo can use to his advantage. But in these corridors with the nail gun out, has to be careful.
Smooth movement from DaHanG. The ice skates on now oh, there's the push from Vo. Doesn't get perhaps the real meaty connection he was after. You can see the switch of positions here. The heavy is the next item to spawn here as Vu's going to go up high to go and just run over that. But it looks like he has no idea that he just missed DaHanG. Now he knows. Critically weak. Can't challenge either big item. He's on the back foot now.
Definitely on the back foot. And it is going to be Vo playing the plus back for the next probably minute at least, as there is no real scope for him to get on these major items, as DaHanG is pulling on the pressure, using that plasma trail to get around the map so quickly and isolating Vo back into the corridors.
Oh, the double back up the shards the whole way, and now it's Vo able to just barely get out of the danger there. Both players very low on the hit points here, so it's a complete, it's such a stark difference.
Vu's
the clutch versus Sorlag.
Around here.
Oh, nicely done, DaHanG. Crisp rail to finish off Vo0.
And the Slash is one of those champions that's particularly scary, falling down from that heavy armor into the mega area, but just because of the nature of crouch sliding means you can zip around that corner so damn quickly and just put the pressure on that. It's particularly when you're an Anarchy with no stack to work with, it's so risky.
Vo0 can just pop in the berserk here. There's no time, simply no time, and that'll be it. DaHanG is going to make it work.
We've had 2 rounds so far. Everyone's been almost a full 5 minutes. Both of these players playing extremely defensive, not wanting to give their opponent anything to work with, and that's exactly what you want to see.
And that's the question. That's the thing with the Clutch as well. For me, it's just that it's very hard to get in against Clutch. Clutch with the shield, if everything goes according to plan, he always has control of the engage and the disengage. And then he gets to sweep all the armors. But Vo0 did find success there. It did take a while, but he did find some success. And DaHanG.
Yeah, and the key of playing against Clutch is to play the range game, play the level. Whoa!
Wow. Okay, that is a beautiful rail there from... That is actually a very classic CPM type railing for me, sort of air controlling backwards and sort of flicking at the same time. Really nice there from Vo0. And, oh, misses the air shot. And, oh my God.
What?
Well, Vo0, his knees are off. His knees are off, but it is a flesh wound. He's back in the action here. And the berserk is ready to go, and it can be very dangerous against the fast-moving Slash. The get-in ability of Slash with that slide, with the plasma trail, is so strong. Oh, the shotgun though, and where's the punch? Oh, he falls to the bottom, and that's going to be DaHanG still safe after the heavy pickup. And the mega to fall back onto. What a missed opportunity there for Vo0.
Well, I think he was almost slightly fortunate to fall off because he had missed the first punch, was quite far away from Slash, and Slash backwards sliding was never going to be caught by the Doom, so a little bit fortunate, I think.
Well, let's see if the fortune continues for Mr. Kasiaga, the Cheese Hunter.
That's what it means.
That's what it means, yeah.
What it means.
That's what it means. But will he win the cheese? Will he find what he's looking for? So he's stacked up again, at a moment of quiet right now, as both players, again, just not all that healthy. But Vo0, he's got Berserk. He's got the stack's gone. Just in a blink of an eye, it's just completely vanished. Still trying to keep the pressure on, though.
Going to be forced away back into this now gun room. Trying to pick up some of the smaller items. I wouldn't expect him to be challenging at this point in time. Might be able to sneak his way down to Mega, but again, on Slash, it's so easy for you just to slide in and get out so cleanly and crisply.
Yeah, definitely a good way to deal with Doom and some of his movement options, especially when he pops the Berserk, as we saw, as you highlighted. Creating another interesting situation and dynamic between the two champions. And this is a pretty classic blood run situation where you're both sort of around the top level, but neither player really understands that you're sort of standing basically both on the shotgun.
And one of the problems for DaHanG, as we saw in the last game, is that it's quite dangerous to be aggressive around the corridors, around these corners, because if you do run into Doom and you do that, get that rocket punch combo, then Slash is instantly dead, despite perhaps even being in control. So DaHanG has to be careful until he's completely aware of where Vo0 is.
And DaHanG is in such a driving position at the moment. I would say that he's sort of controlling the pace, really, but it's Vo0 who's successfully able to evade his opponent. But DaHanG looking to go for the kill now, trying to detect where his opponent is. Vo0 setting the trap around the corner, pops the Berserk in with a good bit of damage as well with the rocket, or shotgun actually. And the Berserk popped is not really going to be of interest for DaHanG to chase. And that was a really key timing here, because we can see that timing will allow Vo0 to actually get onto the Mega. And that's a split on the big items.
Yep, and now this is where Doom gets dangerous, because Slash has a decent stack, but it's nothing ideal, and Doom can put on the pressure, so a nice rail is going to force Vo0 back into these corridors. But once again, this is difficult for DaHanG to push in, so that rail is definitely a Q.
Vo0 trying to use the the double jump there to kind of trick the trajectory, create a bit of extra elevation.
Ooh, that was mightily close.
Oh, I thought almost for a second he would actually be baited by the light armor, but there's the pursuit. The slash comes in. Berserk is there as well. The lock is not found, but DaHanG is the one to lock down Vo with the rocket launcher, and that's a great position to be in now. There's 40 seconds left, and truly desperation will set in, but at least Vo's on Anarchy, so he can get around quickly and he can get the chase going.
Yeah, but even though on Anarchy, slash is still difficult to pin down, I'm sure Vo is relatively aware of where DaHanG will be, given that he was quite low after that last engagement. 20 seconds to go. Going to be playing around the jump pads. Gone the wrong way. Teleporter it is.
10 seconds. And he's going to do the G-Bow, just playing the teleporter. And there it is. Vo going for the rocket jumps, trying desperately to get the pursuit. He is running out of time. And there it is. Needed another couple seconds, and maybe, just maybe, he could have done it, but DaHanG will hold on. And what a close battle between these two players.
It's been the slash that Vo's struggling to deal with most of all. The clutch has been relatively ineffective.
Yeah, and that's a really, really cool to see that Vo's able to deal with it, because I could see it being a pretty big issue. But here it is, solarang versus the clutch. And Vo struggling against that shield, working out quite well here. Get that backwards bunny jumping in. Got some flair. Styling.
It makes it look so easy. That makes me feel seasick when I do that, so...
I have to teach you how to move, mate.
It's like I break my fingers trying to do that.
You just need to play some CPM, that's all you need to do. Vo with the super shotgun there. Some quick damage in. It's so funny with, like, in that range, he gets 50 damage because Clutch is so massive.
Yeah, and look at that,
awesome.
just whittle him down. Same as the tri-bolt meta against Clutch that I think Faz glorified. These weapons just do an immense amount of damage, but you can hit them. And Clutch, as we say, it's the size of a barn, so it's relatively easy.
solarang is the meat popsicle. Clutch is the barn. Meat popsicle versus the barn. Who wins?
Meat popsicle, I reckon.
Meat popsicle. Oh, Vo in control thoroughly now with the big items, and DaHanG very, very low. He does collect the heavy, and that's really the resource that he needed to allow him some breathing room on the map, because now he can sort of at least play the map, get some health, move around a bit more. He was very restricted previously by his low health, and now see Vo is trying to...
But he's also very well aware that Clutch is defending that rocket launcher and Vo needs it, so he needs to be careful until he attains it, which he does, and cleanly gets the Mega as well. So once I reckon he gets the heavy, this is his time to push into that nail gun room, because he knows that's where DaHanG is.
Vo, look, he can't quite connect some of these rails. He's a little bit too slow for those. Still looking for a good opportunity, and again, both players looking to take their time here. It's Blood Run, there's plenty of armor, plenty of health. And just as you mentioned, that first frag is so incredibly crucial. And the solarang will be, I think, pretty decent in some spots. If he gets the advantage, he's up against the slash. I think solarang is probably one of his better bets as far as the champions goes, with that acid spit against the rushdown of the slash. And here it is, DaHanG now getting himself another heavy, slight exchange of damage. Neither player really finding a fight that they want to take.
No, both in precarious situations. Obviously, DaHanG wanting to use that shield aggressively and cannot catch Vo out, as Vo is consistently doing nice damage to forcing him into these defensive positions, but at the same time, Vo scared of engaging and overcommitting without initially seeing that shield popped and knowing it's on cooldown.
And here it is, the aggression, the full stack from DaHanG. He wants to go and close it down here. Tries to capitalize on his advantage, but can't quite find much there. Nice use of the laser, but still the pressure came in from Vo. They're trying to get the long-range rails. I like that. It's a classic dual move there. Just close the distance around that shotgun instead of going straight for the heavy. Force the opponent back, then take it safely. Hot tips. And again, just camping the tellies, doing the G-Bow.
DaHanG not wanting to go down into that corridor without his shield up, which is only down in 3 seconds. Now his confidence is restored.
And I very much respect that Vo is really exercising a lot of patience, especially considering that we know that he loves playing fast. We know that he loves playing aggressive. And this is another reason why he's such a good competitor, because he knows that sometimes you just have to play a certain style. Even if he doesn't like it, he's going to play it because all he cares about is the win and not how he gets there.
The same for DaHanG, really. DaHanG is also an aggressive player. But when Vo is actually doing a great job of managing that Clutch's aggression, and instead it's DaHanG, I think, doing a particularly good job of staying alive on Clutch.
And then now there's 45 seconds left. So we did actually sort of predict that there would be an overtime, just seeing sort of the lineup of champions previously. And it looks like we might finally get one because, again, neither player really finding a fight that they want.
Yeah, this is more of an old school blood run battle with two of the veterans of the game. Extremely calculated, very positional, not wanting to overcommit to anything and always preferring to stay on the defense and utilizing those sound cues. But when they're both adopting a very similar style, this is where we get more of a drawn-out game because it is just so calculated and each one of them is taking a very minimalist risk approach to their overarching macro game.
And here it is, the trap set up, expecting the drop for the Mega.
He's trapped.
And the rail comes out, the shield's up as well to protect the Mega. It falls on back to that item, but the Heavy is really required here for DaHanG. He's got no armor left. The Heavy is up on the spot.
This is the time
gets the grab.
to go in as well because he knows that shield is down.
And he's winning that Heavy. As you said, this is the time, this is the moment. There's the rocket jump, bunnying around the corner, finds the engagement, the shield is down, the spit comes out. Did it connect? Yes, it did. More damage output there, but the rockets are gonna batter him away from that fight and move. And Vo, always call him Moo, that is gonna be a lost opportunity. And the question is, how many of those will he get?
That was all of the stars aligning and a perfect play with that rocket jump with the speed, knowing exactly where DaHanG was gonna be camping, trying to pick up those time shots, waiting for his shield to get up. Just didn't hit anything.
Very, very tense times, but still see whether or not he will be able to find a similar position because he is running the map pretty well at the moment. Obviously, DaHanG in a similar position as to before. His armor count is not very good. He is looking to try to get position onto the next Heavy though, and with the pickup of the Mega being having just enough delay between that and the Heavy, Vo can get back easily in time to try to take both items. And you can see DaHanG is just playing around that.
It's one of the weaknesses of Clutch. Not only are they very vulnerable if they make themselves exposed on the map, but if you're not at your fighting stack, it takes such a long time to regrind those small armors to get back up to 150. This is why you have to be so careful because even though you have that invulnerability in the shield, if you aren't at your fighting stack, once that's gone, you're so vulnerable because you can't pressure any of the major items. You have to play extremely plus back. And so it's a difficult champion to pick and a difficult champion to play, despite that incredible strength it brings once you are at your max level.
And it is a really big problem right now that DaHanG can't even take more than one of the light armors at this point.
If Vo's denying everything and making sure that he knows DaHanG's not going to get out on the major items, he doesn't have to take them immediately. It's all about Vo playing that strong positional game to make sure DaHanG is just trapped in this nail gun area. There's also a very long split, which gives him a good amount of time to get between the two, as well as making sure DaHanG is nowhere in sight.
The rail will be really good here for Vo, but he can't quite find it. And DaHanG slowly grinding his way up, very content to just continue grinding until he's in a position for the next fight. Vo is the player that has more opportunities than DaHanG.
He knows where he is, but the difficulty is what can he do?
As you say, it is the rocket jump to get in there. He's trying to bait Clutch out, I think.
Exactly. He's trying to get him out of that position into more of the middle level of that area. A couple of those chip rockets means he could be willing to push in. He knows that there's nothing to work with for Clutch.
Oh, he's building his speed up well in advance so that the sound cue's not given away. And here he comes.
There we go, perfect. Just wanted to bait out the shield. Now he knows he's got a good 30, 40 seconds after this heavy armor to do something.
The timing can work out really well. If this attempt doesn't go well, then he's got a Mega and can still potentially take another fight. But it looks like DaHanG may feel like this is his moment to go and try to pressure the Mega. He's going down. There's 3 seconds to the Mega. Vo, will he get there in time? He swings on by, and there it is. DaHanG just escapes through the telly once again. And now he has the timing. I'm not sure if he missed it, but the catch with the LG and the shield, I don't think it's up just yet. That's big damage, but Vo unable to really follow up.
He's still got lots of time. As we said, it takes a glorious amount of time to restack on Clutch. So there's plenty and plenty of time for Vo to work with. That shield's not going to be a huge problem because even if DaHanG pops it, he can't do anything. He can't fight back. So Vo can just chase him down until he kills him.
And this is another reason, again, why Vo has strength. Oh, that's a big steal.
It is a huge steal. Vo should have committed for that.
Too afraid of the shield, perhaps. We'll see whether that fear is going to bite him in the backside. DaHanG once again just camping the teleporter.
But every one of those rails just sets DaHanG back another 30 seconds or so before he's willing to make a move out of this nail gun area. He needs to probably collect another one of the greens before he moves out. Quite happy to wait that last 10 seconds as well, pick up probably a couple more time shards, pick up a small armor, then maybe move and try and hit a rail. But the Sorlag's been stacked for the last good, I don't know, 9 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much.
DaHanG has pretty much put out 0 damage in that time frame as well.
And he's picked up like 1 mega or something like that. It's actually funny if you consider that mega pickup and the situation where Vo0 came in the rockets, whiffed all these rockets, and he has so many opportunities in that sense.
It's one of those things, as we said right at the very start. Like, Vo0's mechanical skill is better than 99 percentile of all FPS players in Quake, but it's not the same level as some of the best. And he could have finished DaHanG off 2 or 3 times if he had that extra bit, despite making every single right step along the way.
DaHanG's once again in a position where, I mean, he hasn't been in this position much of the time, but he actually has near enough a full stack again. So he's looking confident to start pressuring the actual map.
Yeah, exactly. But then all it takes is for Vo0 to hit 1 rail, 1 rocket, and DaHanG's going to go back into hiding, back into hibernation.
And this is one of those things too, maybe like Vo0 has just played this pacing where he's had the run of the entire map for so long that he may not really sort of expect or be used to the feeling of now DaHanG being in different positions, DaHanG ready to take a fight. Gotta be careful with the bunny jumping with the Sorlag. You don't want to get caught mid-jump with a string of LG.
Vo0 has the confidence to move out when he knows Clutch isn't confident. That positional play by DaHanG makes it incredibly, it makes Vo0 incredibly aware of exactly what DaHanG is thinking, what his stack is. So he knows now that he is on the back foot and he has to mark his territory. But Vo0 might have been able to overcommit earlier in the game, but you have to remember that he's the one on the back foot here in terms of 2-1 and the round limit.
That's big. And again, DaHanG already with 2 round wins. If he was to win this battle against Vo0, this 1 frag that is required, he's going to take the map. That's pretty huge. And Vo0, obviously, if he wins, he's going to be starting that comeback trail. And what a dynamic that's been generated between these 2 players. DaHanG's been playing the Clutch much safer than in some of the past rounds. That's a decent connection, 70 damage, forcing Vo0 through the telly. And it's a real role reversal here. And it's interesting because Vo0 had the mobility and DaHanG had all the defense with the shield and so on. But now DaHanG has to get in. And that's going to be difficult.
I think we might be casting the longest round in the history of Quake Champions, DDK.
It could very well be
and
like
for once,
that.
It's not Vo0 making it happen.
DaHanG, here he goes, looking to find a connection, can't get anything though. And that's the other thing too, is that, you know, it's a bit, obviously Clutch can move, we'll have to hold that fort. Let's see if actually DaHanG's going to commit towards this. Doesn't want to do it, wants to maintain position on the map, and that's a very smart choice, the only choice really, the only sensible one at least. With that mega up, it looks like DaHanG's going to be able to get that as well. So still DaHanG in a very strong position.
But this time he might have trapped Sorlag. He's got the speed. Even though you have speed, obviously, the cornering on the big man is not the best. More of a truck than a go-kart.
Oh, nice rail there.
Oh, now the Sorlag's low. And there's a shield up as well.
Only 2, well, doubled the health now, but it's still
what a rail.
very weak. Oh god, this is surely the moment here. Vo0 is crippled. So much damage has been done. He finds himself some health, but he has absolutely no armor. He has no business being on the heavy as well. DaHanG, can he get to the mega in time, or will Vo0 go for it? Staying on the telly, another rail connected. Surely this is the moment where DaHanG can get in.
It's slightly too long now. The Sorlag's been able to restack. That rocket through the doorway was the most important rocket of this duel. That stopped DaHanG and forced him to back off onto the major items.
DaHanG just trying to walk and catch his opponent, but not giving away sound cues. And unfortunately for DaHanG, it's not going to work out. Does get a beat onto the position of Vo0, but the mega has spawned. And Vo0 playing very tentatively, not really challenging. But DaHanG, surely he realized that was a big base setup, and this might be it. DaHanG is in a great position to close this down, but he's so weak, 2 HP.
Oh, the tick just ran out.
Oh my god, that was so incredibly close. I have no idea how Vo0 survived, or DaHanG, for that matter.
Was trying to time his rockets in between Vo0's, but ended up just not using anywhere near as many as he could have. I think he skipped maybe 1 or 2 blasts, and that was enough for Vo0 to get out of the way.
That did not play out how I expected. Oh my God, it doesn't really get much closer than that. I thought that was going to be the end to the overtime, to the sudden death, but no. It will continue here. Vo, once again in a good position. It's been a while since he's had some freedom on the map, but still, he doesn't really have the stack. Rail connected, but traded.
Yeah, and DaHanG, that's far more impactful for DaHanG than it is for Vo. Vo's severely weakened by that, whereas DaHanG is still relatively comfortable.
You got to hit those rails. If you're against the clutch,
yeah.
You got to hit those.
It's crunch time for Vo. He's heard him get away. Now he can move. Good use of the sound cues.
So much about sound in this matchup.
DaHanG's going to come flying through.
But again, as you mentioned, the cornering is really a big issue.
Needs to be slightly more of a risk taken with DaHanG, I think. When that shield is up, there could have been multiple times he perhaps rocket jumps up and use the extra speed boost to angle his way through doorways, but instead just playing very safe.
So really we're in a position where we're not going to get a fight or a frag, most likely, unless both players are really convinced that they have a stack to go for a big item. And Vo is just taking so much damage here that it's going to be ages until he really feels confident.
It's like a dancer dodging some of these rockets sometimes. Finds a way just to minimize the damage because DaHanG is hitting literally everything and somehow...
Oh, this could be the catch here. DaHanG in a great position here. Can he follow up? He can't get a connection here. The shield is popped though. And that's just no damage, none.
Slipping up, seeing the power of the air control coming out from Saw. Like, this is what I want to see. I want to see more aggression.
Oh, this could be it. This could be the catch. The Mega's up. And there it is. Finally, the rocket to rail combination. And DaHanG will eventually close it down. And
wow, he's not happy.
I was going to say to you as well, like, the only place a frag could be made is at Mega because neither player can catch one another. So it's really just a challenge on that big item.
That is exactly why you shouldn't be challenging as your Vo. If you don't know where your opponent is, don't go for it. Because, like we said at the very start, that's where clutch is king, and that's where you cannot escape. If you're on the defense and you don't know where your opponent is, it's just crazy to go for that. That's why it's a mega. That's why it's the mega health down there. It's a trap.
Yeah, and I love that, you know, with these two players, they're so experienced that in these, they can play these very, very long, drawn-out situations and sort of make minimal mistakes. And it's just kind of beautiful to watch in that way because when you're playing you know, a match like that and you're a lesser experienced player, sometimes you can make a mistake because you're like, hang on, nothing's happening. And sometimes you just sort of need to just be very confident in your strategy and not sort of second guess yourself. And that can happen a lot with the more experienced players.
It seems extremely long and extreme, like nothing is happening, but for those players, obviously every single decision is pivotal. They have to be exactly in the right position at all times. They're timing everything for that full duration. And they have to be aware of all facets of the game, even more so at a heightened state, because every slip up, as you said, the last fight is what decides the entire game. And so it's the most stressful period for any type of player. And so going into the next game is the question. One of the big questions is how much of an impact on Vo is that taken out of him? Because winning that is a huge, huge deal for DaHanG.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially, you know, as this is the rematch from QuakeCon, it's pretty exciting stuff. It's such a great matchup of players as well, because as you said previously, you know, both players are very confident in the aggressive play, but they're both, again, true competitors. They're both championship level players, and the mind games there, the history there. You got a bit of everything. And
I think that's exactly why we saw that type of game from both players. Throughout, there was kind of contours in the momentum where there was periods of Vo pressuring DaHanG massively, whereas it flipped on its head where DaHanG was then pressuring Vo massively. And they were both able to effectively adapt to the challenges they were meeting. Many other players would meet fire with fire because that's how they like to play. But each of these players recognizes the situation they were in and able to make those slight adjustments in play style from full-out aggression to full-out defense, even within a matter of like seconds.
Oh yeah, and it is actually quite interesting as well with the way that, you know, the opportunities that Vo did get to close that down, because, you know, we go back to that beautiful sort of rocket jumps, the speed in towards the nail gun room, or the room between that and the tele exit, and he was in a spot where he missed some rockets, and that's kind of the thing that plagues Vo, is that the inconsistency to his ability to hit shots, because sometimes, you know, you're going to see him hit crazy flick shots, but he doesn't have the consistency, and that is the one true weakness of his game.
And that's what we saw, again, in the last kind of 2-3 minutes of that, is Vo was playing absolutely perfectly on the offense, but the execution wasn't there. As soon as DaHanG had his opportunity, we saw rail after rail after rail stringing up, and the pressure mounted up on Vo very, very quickly. And yes, Vo was doing an amazing job of getting away from it, but DaHanG didn't let up with that pressure, and that's what told out in the end.
Well, it's a new map. Both players have had some time to take a breather and reset the situation. Vo has had time to make peace with some of those missed engagements, but now it's time to make war, as it is time for Blood Covenant, and Vo on that Doom guy straight away.
Putting the pressure straight onto the Mega. Now able to back off the... Again, this is a problem we see on Blood Covenant, is that Vo has the much better position, meaning he can rocket jump back up and protect both the rail and the rocket launcher. DaHanG is in a very difficult position now and needs to be wary, as this trap is extremely common on the rocket launcher.
Oh, that's a really good connection. Can he get the follow-up? Yes, the rail connects. And that is... Oh, how much health does that DaHanG actually have? He must be down to 5 or something. Barely picks up some health to just keep himself alive there. Keep himself from bleeding out on Blood Covenant. But Vo, he's going to understand that. He's got this really awesome position. But how can he get to DaHanG? DaHanG's so expert with that slash movement.
Nice play by DaHanG, not showing himself, even though it wasn't an obvious play for Vo to rocket jump up. DaHanG doesn't make the mistake of showing himself anywhere vulnerable in the upper levels.
What a way to start out a Blood Covenant here, just with very, very low health, but eventually finding a way to get some health back, picks up the Mega, and yep, it sort of makes a bit of a mistake there with the movement, but everything is fine.
Doesn't have the rail, but does pick it up now, meaning he is quite happy to get back onto that mid-level, back onto the upper level, and combat Vo.
DaHanG. Ooh. Speaking about Vo hitting shots.
Finally.
Well, Blood Covenant has been much kinder to him in that regard. And that's kind of understandable. Blood Covenant's a bit more open. You get a bit more leeway with some of the engagements. It feels a bit better than Blood Run, which feels... It can feel very awkward on Blood Run to get damage out sometimes.
We still pose the problem where...
Ooh,
nice opening rocket from Vo.
Oh, there it is.
Where did that punch come from?
I don't even know, and I don't even know where the punch... I don't want to know where the punch went, because Vo was underneath him. Let's not speculate. We've got Vo in a position now with Doom Guy. Obviously, he did use the Berserk just there, but he's going to be able to pick up all of the health and armor. That Mega is up, and he's going to go checking in on it, and it's going to be sitting there, nice and pretty for him. He's got to be feeling pretty good at this point.
Yep. One of the strengths of the Doom Guy on this map in particular is very easy to patrol that upper ground. Much like Nick's using the double jump and the wall jump ability, but the difference is with Doom Guy, you have a huge stack to work with and big fists to knock people down with.
Absolutely. Maybe it is sometimes just like a fighting game, isn't it?
Button mashing.
Yeah. Dragon Punch, the Shoryukens being thrown around there, as we have DaHanG now. He's got the Ghost Walk, so that's going to allow him to have some survivability. But the problem, in some respects, is that, again, Doom Guy's so well-rounded. He's got, you know, all the maneuverability with the double jump. He's got a good health pull, and he's got the panic button. And right now, Vo has the advantage. There's 2 minutes to find an aggressive situation here, connect some shots. Vo actually getting bullied away there with the rail.
Yeah, DaHanG taking an aggressive posture, dropping down in front of Vo, meaning if Vo wanted to push up, it was almost certain death.
Whoa.
Plus the Ghost Walk is up, meaning DaHanG is extremely happy to push in. Still can follow as well, because he knows Vo is weak. Easy.
That first rocket was massive. That is again something that is very Quake. You know, that the first rocket, it changes everything. And for DaHanG, it made the difference. And it's given him a situation now where he doesn't have to worry nearly as much, as he's not playing from behind. And that's where Nyx is going to be way better, because you can actually take your time with the Ghost Walk.
And this is why, as you said, as we move into another engagement here, forcing the Ghost Walk out.
And right now, Vo doesn't have a lot of weapons. He's going to have to push forwards with the rockets, but it might be working out for him. Nice. Indeed, it will. Only rockets required. He actually had a rail as well, but no LG. But it is all going to be done with those rockets. And now he's going to be darting around the map, looking to find himself another engagement. That flick shot is exactly what we're talking about. That is Vo in with the frags. Beautiful round from him. And that's quite the way to bounce back after a very, very uneventful Blood Run.
Definitely.
Much more his speed.
A lot of nice shots coming out, and that's what we like to see. Vo on the aggression, hitting some incredible shots, and just giving DaHanG no room to breathe this time. It was good play from DaHanG though up until that point, but once Vo recognized he had the advantage, he did grab it by the neck.
Now, DaHanG, oh, that's a nice rail. That's a very nice shot. Need to try to get the close on the engagement. Not really quite finding something that looks good to commit to, but he has, oh, that's a good rocket. His movement's actually worked out. There's an opportunity. He's going to try to capitalize. Shotgun comes out. Oh, he needed one more. How did Vo even survive that? That is crazy. Knockdowns is so incredibly low.
It was just the right decision by DaHanG, but one good rocket from Vo turning on his head once again. And this is one of the defining features of Quake, is that you have a plan, but you need a plan A, B, C, and D, depending on how the fight goes.
And the Ghost Walk, where is he going to turn up here? The pressure coming in. Again, these rockets from above the pillars. For DaHanG, he's been very good with the verticality and dropping down to finish it off. But again, that's twice in a row where DaHanG's getting great connection from above, drops in to close it down, but somehow Vo still steals it away. That's robbery.
That is the nature of DoomGuy. You want to go into close quarters with him, and he has that ability up. You have to make sure you can kill him first.
Oh, there it is,
That's
though.
payback.
It is payback. Taste of his own medicine. Well, jaws have been broken, but now Anaki's in the picture here for Vo. And Anaki great on this map here, but looks like DaHanG just wants to close it down straight away. They're really going aggressive, trying to push the issue, but Vo able to maneuver his way out of that one. So many fights around these pillars, and once again, another fight could happen. Oh, the flick shots missed. That was the one.
Vo turning up the tempo, DDK.
Oh, wow. This is definitely more his speed, isn't it?
I mean, I think we're going to have all 3 rounds in less time than the overtime of the final round of Blood Run. Impressive play from Vo, and it's nice to see, as we said, that mechanical skill finally clicking, and this is, we can see, this is what Vo is capable of when he hits his shots.
Absolutely. Oh, hello. Well,
Punched again.
there it is.
Vo's got some blood on his fists.
He does indeed. One Punch Man. Let's go. You really need to watch that if you haven't seen it.
One Punch Man.
Yeah. You can watch it in about 2 hours,
A
alright.
Kung Fu movie.
No, it's just a little short anime. It's really good. The main character is just insanely good. Like DoomGuy. It just doesn't lose like DoomGuy. So, DaHanG, good positioning. There's no real split on the items, I don't. Well, it's a couple of seconds, so obviously not enough time here. So they can actually split these. DaHanG with the heavy and Vo on the Doom on the Mega. Actually, it's up still.
Given DaHanG has the weapon advantage with the rail, so this is something he wants to take to his advantage. Not sure why Vo left that Mega health up. Just not entirely sure of DaHanG's positioning. Again, as I said, without the railgun, it's always very risky going up the jump pad, particularly at the range. So patrolling the lower levels at the moment.
And again, DaHanG finding so much value out of these engagements from above with the rockets and just sitting on the telly there. The Ghost Walk not quite panning out as he had really intended there, camping the telly exit, but Vo knows better than that. He's going to juke and jive and outmaneuver his opponent in reality as he's able to get positioned onto the heavy armor. And he's in pretty good shape at the moment.
Yeah, reading DaHanG there, recognizing if there's no one chasing you, sometimes you have that eerie feeling that there is a Ghost Walk, and it was slightly more obvious that time, but still good understanding of the situation by Vo.
Nice flick there, and again, it's dangerous right now for DaHanG. Oh, very dangerous now. Is there another flick to be had? Not quite, but again, that Berserk is up as well. Vo
should have gone upper ground.
Yeah, he's... Oh man, that could have been something, couldn't it? But
doesn't matter. Vo has that one champion advantage, so keeping DaHanG on the back foot is just what you need. You don't always have to pressure for the kill.
DaHanG gets a good connection. So the ability's up for both champions at the moment, for both players. It's going to be interesting to see how they find the engagement. The immediate Ghost Walk popped out. He's going to go for the engagement. They're trying to get the telefrag. There's the rail that Heavy picked up. Vo is going to keep fighting. Going to be dropping down, and DaHanG unable to get any exit damage. And again, we're having a very close
Running out of rails there. Slightly unfortunate because it was quite an easy rail to hit in reality.
Indeed, it's again slowing down here. What a battle between these two we're seeing.
Initiative's definitely on the side of DaHanG.
And And there's the catch that goes all pop down to 12 HP.
Sticking around?
I was going to say, ambitious, but he gets the rail connection out of it. So, and that's really crucial damage. That's going to create a situation where Vo can't really even pressure DaHanG.
Vo's quite happy to wait and take these close combat fights because as we've seen time and time again, if you want to engage a Doom guy in the close quarters, you're normally going to come off worse. So for Vo, DaHanG has to find a way to whittle down Doom guy's stack before he engages and finishes him off, and that's extremely difficult against a player of Vo's caliber.
Yeah, that's it's definitely been a struggle. DaHanG just trying to play defensive, like really defensively now.
He's bought a lot of time.
Yeah, he has.
He's got the ultimate up and doesn't want to use that ability until it's needed.
This is the thing too, like you never, with this sort of advantage, you never want to go too passive. There's the Ghost Walker. This is beautiful from DaHanG, trying to get the telefrag there. Oh, the pummel comes out down to 11. And wow, I mean, I was about to make the point that, again, he was in a position where he had the champion, well, he's behind it. Well, actually, no, I misread that, so never mind. I'm going to move
Vo was behind.
I thought Vo was behind for a second there, yeah. So I misread that, but either way, DaHanG here, very desperate with 40 seconds left.
Exactly. This is just desperation, and it's pretty much game over now. There's no way he's going to be able to stack back up and kill Vo twice. So Vo just has to run down the clock. He knows DaHanG's got nothing to play with, so just sticking with that rail, making sure that DaHanG's got no angles, no distance, and a nice finishing shotgun.
What a beautiful game from Vo. Again, the faster pace. He was all around the map. He had great engagements. But I mean, in one of the rounds we saw, of course, DaHanG in a situation where he was getting great rockets from above the pillars. I don't think he initially really wanted to commit to the fight, but then he's like, well, I just got a great connection.
Yeah.
And Vo, his escape options are kind of bad from this position, so I'm going to go for the drop and get the kill. But as you say, the Berserk comes out, and there's two spots where DaHanG is really convinced. His expectation is, I'm definitely getting this kill. I set it up, and it didn't go his way. So it definitely was a bit closer than it looked. That's on the scoreboard.
Vo played amazing, but as you say, there were a couple of key moments in that match that were just turned around like in the blink of an eye due to the ability of Doom guy. And yes, it's unfortunate for DaHanG, but at the same time, you just don't drop onto a Doom guy until he's dead.
So it's very true. And with those words of wisdom, can you tell us, based on those two games, who's going to take this one? Because I still have no idea.
I think if it's corrupted, keep Vo. If it's ruins,
all right.
DaHanG.
Dr. Sanders has spoken. Dr. Sanders has spoken.
I am a doctor.
Congratulations on being a doctor now.
Thank you.
It's a lot of hard work. You survived just
I'm a lot
the many
wiser
years.
and grayer for it, but yeah.
It must have been quite tough, I imagine. A lot of study, a lot of work. Had to defend your PhD, I guess.
Defend my honor.
Your honor, yeah.
But we're here now, sitting in DreamHack, looking smooth.
Absolutely. The Doctor of Quake.
Yeah, I'll get there soon.
With a couple of Doctors of Quake on the stage there as well.
He's definitely older than me.
I just love seeing sort of just the player shots, especially when you get a guy like Vo, just because you can really just feel and you can see the focus on him. And if you ever see Vo at an event off the stage, his demeanor is so very different.
He's such a nice, friendly guy, like
absolutely
quite slight. But when you stand behind him in a competitive situation like Quake,
so intense.
You feel the rage coming off of him. I have to like take a step back. I need to protect myself from his anger. But yeah, as you say, like he's what embodies competition, and it's great to see he's still around in the scene after so many years, after everything he's done, and he's doing so well. That's like
he really is, yeah. He's
doing so well.
It's actually awesome because I think for QuakeCon around that period, he was basically taking 2-3 months off of work, sort of just reassessing, what he's going to do, if I'm not mistaken, and obviously gets a super deep run at QuakeCon, making it to the finals, beating DaHanG in the semis, losing out to Claws in the finals. But again, as you say, to make it that far, no one expected that. No one. I mean, obviously, again, when you're playing a tournament and you're in Vo's position, of course you're going to win every match, you're going to win the tournament, but I don't think he really expected it either.
Just a few weeks ago, getting to the final of the Italian Open, losing to Kilson, and this is a tournament where he's bypassed people like Claws and Avex, Cypher, Kula, all these superstar names, and then there's this Vo just creeping his way through the bracket.
Absolutely, and it's amazing as well because Quake has some of the oldest players in the business, and after years and years off, they're still showing that their level is incredible, and it kind of esports is still a very new thing. There's so many people that hold this opinion that when you get older, you just lose the ability to play, you lose reaction time.
Got multiple 30 pluses. So
yeah.
Older guys in chat,
you just get better, right?
Sign up.
I think you just get better with age, man.
It's like fine wine.
Absolutely.
But the one thing I will say is we have Clutch back on, and I still think Vo's going to win this map, but Clutch is such a pain in the ass on this map.
Well, let's see if Vo can deal with that pain in the ass with perhaps some Doom guy.
With some Doom guy, but
some Doom guy.
Vo is very smart, and he dealt with him exceptionally well on Blood Run, and he's doing what is necessary. So keeping his range again. He still doesn't have a rocket launcher, which is one of the reasons why. But he's just, look at the damage you could do against Clutch at this range.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Machine gun is so good on Clutch. The shotguns as well, the LG. Pretty much every hit scan weapon is massive. Trying to close the distance there, using the shield to do that. And the Berserk comes out, 15 health left. Can he make it out of there? He can. Oh, that was a close one, though. Perhaps Vo trying to bite off more than he could chew, really, in that spot.
But look, he did so much damage. He forced out the shield, and all of that was without a rocket launcher. So Vo was the victor for me in that situation.
Yeah, but that was scary. If you have to do that every time against Clutch, that's scary, man. But I guess that's why DaHanG picks him. That's also why he's very good with him. He understands the dynamics very well.
It's one of these, even though it's a very small map, there's lots of little crevices and hiding spots for Clutch to keep away. There's also a nice amount of time shards for regeneration side, so someone like Dewey uses him very effectively as well. Nice play by DaHanG, holding on to the very last second. He's got him in a situation he doesn't want to be. 4 health remaining.
Man, those rockets were pretty damn good. How? Oh man, Vo is he's surely so screwed. DaHanG is playing really well here.
There's no way he gets out of this alive.
There it is. Finally, DaHanG closes it down. So you favored Vo for Corrupted Keep. DaHanG gets the first frag on the round, gets the catch onto Anarchy. That's not an easy catch to make, but he gets basically the perfect corridor to find him in. Oh no, the Ghost Walk forced out immediately. This round is looking really guaranteed here for DaHanG at this point. Vo on the retreat for the chase here from Clutch. Good rocket. Going to be able to cut off the exit, or try to at the very least. The juking there with the double jump, but forced into the open. The machine gun will easily deal with that situation, and it is round 1 without DaHanG dropping a single champion. That Clutch looking good.
Yeah, I did predict Vo, but then I also, not going to lie, forgot about Clutch. Yes, I'm not going to change my mind because it's too late. But all I have to say is...
I respect that. Some people would be scumbags and just change their prediction, but...
Clutch is good. That's all I can say. When you can use him, because there are a lot of weaknesses.
I was just about to say, DaHanG's Clutch is good. I think that's maybe the caveat that you need.
Yeah.
Well, Vo is going to be opening up with Anarchy. Perhaps he feels like that is going to be the solution
definitely.
here. And he will perhaps feel like his Anarchy... I mean, he didn't even get to play Anarchy in the previous round. He got caught off completely in the corridor there off the spawn.
Not sure what that was.
Got to send some warning shots out there. It's like a Middle Eastern wedding.
Cleaning
shooting the guns into the sky
or something, I don't know. But no, I like the Anarchy switch up. You need to use that pace to try and get away from Clutch. It's not a counter, but it's a good way of managing it if you are strong with Anarchy. You whip in, you whip out, you do immense amount of damage, and as soon as the shield is popped, there you go. You just retreat.
And this is looking quite good here for Vo. He's got a really good spot here with Clutch quite weak, and of course, we saw Blood Run. We saw how long it can take for Clutch to stack back up, especially now the heavy's been taken away from him. There's not all the armor in the world here for him at the moment, and it's Vo that's struggling, gets a nasty rocket in the face there, but the pickup of the Mega could just about convince him to keep going for the fight there. Sees that Clutch will go for that armor, but he still is able to keep position in center map, and that's really important because between DaHanG and that big armor is Vo.
Yep, and then Vo's doing an ideal job far, using that speed advantage, as we say, baiting out the shield, doing immense amount of drive-by damage. But if he is caught out in a corner, that's where he becomes vulnerable.
DaHanG able to get himself all the big items here. Vo really missed a trick, I think, on that heavy, and that's going to really cause problems because DaHanG, he was tough enough before you had all this stack, and now he's going to find Vo in the choke point, not really getting all the rocket damage he needed.
patience with the ability as well, which is key.
Oh, that's
rocket.
big. That's a big one. And now Vo, he's in a lot of trouble here. DaHanG going for the pursuit there around the corridor. Will be able to catch Vo. Needs a connection here. There's no LG to come out for DaHanG. And without that LG, he can't seem to get the frag, but the rockets are good. And Vo, he can't survive. That Anarchy's gone. That was the answer perhaps to the clutch. Now he's got to do it with Doom Guy.
He has to do it with the Doom Guy.
And there it is. Clutch spotted. The shotgun is very strong. The starting shotgun, the boomstick.
The one thing that that Vo can do with the Doom Guy that he cannot do with the Anarchy is to have more of a presence in positioning-wise in the mid ground.
And that is if
Given
he survives.
that better stack advantage, he can stand his ground better. And I think that's definitely what he needs to do in order to get the hang out off of this champion, is to try and mark his territory in the mid-level and obtain positional advantage.
Well, he is to the high ground. Oh, he's going to go for the fight, actually diving on top of the heavy and trying to take it mid-fight, but it's going to be the frag, perhaps for DaHanG indeed, just chasing all the way through the rockets. He had such low health, but the shield was protecting him for just long enough. Absolutely absurd. And now Vo is just in pure desperation mode. Panic is going to be setting in as he's got to try to take a fight. He's got to finish off Clutch. He goes in for the fight, but Clutch will evade again.
That previous frag was the sign of a very experienced Clutch player. He let Vo do, I don't know, it must have been anywhere between 50 and 100 damage to himself on the shield.
That is pretty, it was pretty awesome.
He didn't fire a single rocket until he was 100% sure it was safe.
Oh, DaHanG's clutch, man. It is so monstrous, isn't it? So intimidating. What is the answer from Vo? He's got to try to find a way to deal with this.
I think he'll stick with the Anarchy. It's definitely where he had most success, but at the end of the day, it was just kind of like DaHanG hunting him down for another 2 minutes. He needs to have more of a presence.
And you're right, the Anarchy comes out, but that's actually big damage, and he is forced onto the inject immediately. And that's perhaps really not the situation where he wanted to use it, but either way, DaHanG now in a great position to take position onto the heavy, but also pressure, actually going in for the kill here. Immense damage.
Jeez.
And I think Vo as well, he didn't, like myself, didn't expect DaHanG to commit all the way with the heavy spawning imminently.
No, and DaHanG, just knowing how much of a stack advantage he has, just showing no fear whatsoever.
What a strong showing from DaHanG so far, not dropping Clutch once on Corrupt to keep the deciding map between these two players in the quarterfinals here. And of course, it'll be the end of the line for one of these two, and it's looking like it could be Vo. He is on his last legs.
And I don't think he's even taken the Clutch down in the previous, at least.
Not on Corrupt to keep, no.
No, I mean, it's a long road back, not only just to win this round, but to win the game. And DaHanG's got all the time in the world to play as patiently as he can, because as you say, initiative is on Vo.
Some rockets being exchanged as the Mega's collected. Vo trying to see if he can get any kind of information here, but DaHanG playing the defensive game. Wants Vo to make the mistake, wants to catch Vo close. But also, DaHanG is going to be able to stack up a little bit more as well. Vo now, how is he going to get in? Mega is the next big item. That could be the item that forces the battle, but Vo not really in a good spot for it as well. It's very tense stuff, and Vo is really struggling to find a good position here to really do something, and his pressure is not really landing with much damage as well.
Yeah, DaHanG's playing absolutely flawlessly. He's not committing to any fights.
Oh, nice.
Vo's out of position.
Oh, that is so stunning, isn't it? That is absolute class from DaHanG. And that just shows you, that just tells you everything.
Yep, exactly.
And here he goes through the telly, looking to go for perhaps a victory lap, closing it down here, forcing the Ghost Walk, immense damage done, and perhaps trying to bait out what could have been a telefrag, but in reality, it's more damage for Mr. DaHanG. And
oh, he picks up the Mega just in time. A final lifeline for Vo.
That must be the difference in milliseconds.
It was pretty close.
Here he goes, challenging onto the heavy. Rockets in there, Clutch bounced around.
Desperation, he could get the kill, but somehow the big man gets away.
Shield is up in 15 now as well. Should be enough time. to perhaps use it in the next engagement even.
Yeah, I mean, Vo's window has gone, and it was a slim window at that.
He needs a miracle now. He needs a telefrag. He needs something.
Yeah, I think he needs to go aggressive ghost walk, because waiting for it to be on the defense once again just means DaHanG can pop that shield and chase him down. I think, for me, he needs to try and use it aggressively and do something, I don't know.
Go big or go home, quite literally here, as Vo is forced to pop the ghost walk defensively, and that's really unfortunate because he can't use it to get onto the Mega. He's on the retreat again, and that's not the position he needs to be in. He needs to be on the offense, he needs to be making the frag here, but the clutch stands tall and dominant. He's barely been able to scratch,
But he's got
DaHanG.
20 seconds or so between the abilities if he can survive, and he can't.
Wow.
DaHanG picks up the victory. Nice and easy.
DaHanG just diving in there, coming in like a bird of prey, you know, fishing in the sea, just going for that dive bomb, and that's going to be a beautiful way, what a confident way for him to finish things off. But unfortunately for Vo, that's the end of the line for him, and it's going to be a disappointing one, as he'll definitely